Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a review of really what has turned out to be my iconic favorite travel bag of 2022. So I want to share with you guys all of my thoughts and do a pretty in-depth review and what this bag holds for you guys. And I'm going to be featuring obviously my gorgeous Saint Laurent Rive Gauche tote in the small size. So if you want to check out everything I have to say and really why I just love this as a travel bag, definitely keep on watching. If you are new here, thanks so much for checking this out. I am a full-time working mom, but in my spare time, I love making these videos on fashion, beauty, mommy lifestyle, in addition to luxury as well. So if those kind of things sound at all interesting, definitely check out my other videos linked down below, and please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching another video. Alright, so I love these handbag review videos. In fact, that's how I first got started watching YouTube, is when I wanted to purchase some bags. I remember vividly from Louis Vuitton, I would go on and search whatever videos I could find about that particular style and really get a sense from you all as to whether these items would work for me. So I really hope that by putting out reviews on my own now of some of these bags, it can help you as well. I think that's really the awesome part about this platform. So today, I have to dedicate this video to this travel bag. I have used this so much over the course of this year, so I'm super excited to share with you guys a pretty detailed, in-depth review of what I think about this bag. So if you're into the luxury community, there's no doubt you have seen a version of this bag. It's not a new style or new release, but every season they often will release new versions of this type of tote bag. So this one is a relatively new release based on the size. So this is the Rive Gauche tote from Saint Laurent, and this is in the smaller size that was newer released, at least, compared to the original size. So this size actually is perfect for me. I will say that I first purchased this on Farfetch earlier this year. So I've had this for well over 6 months now, and I've used it a ton. So I think I have some real hopeful, helpful thoughts about what I think about this beautiful bag. If you want a referral code to save some money on your purchase on Farfetch, definitely check the description box down below. I will list it there. But I love shopping on Farfetch. This video though is in no way sponsored by Farfetch. I pay for everything on my own on Farfetch, but just want to tell you how I got this bag. I love Farfetch because you can actually get some pretty decent discounts, especially on Saint Laurent items. So definitely check out that site. In case you're curious, the retail price of this bag currently is $1,290. But again, you can save some extra money off of that if you shop at places like Farfetch, or I know some other major retailers that sell Saint Laurent also offer pretty good discounts on Saint Laurent. So in general, you shouldn't really be paying retail price, I'll say, for this particular line. So this again is the smaller version of the original tote, and it features beautiful calfskin leather handles. This is full leather. It's really beautiful leather. As you can tell, they're rolled handles, but the body of the bag is canvas, and it has the beautiful black block lettering. As you can see, on the back there's nothing. On the bottom there are no feet. This bag also features silver hardware, at least on this version. And one of the main things as to why I went for this one was the size. So in my opinion, the original tote is pretty large, such that I would only be able to carry it for travel. This size was more workable for me because, as you'll hear about, I think this is perfect for travel as well. But because it's a little smaller in dimensions, you're able to carry it kind of as an everyday tote as well, and you don't look ridiculous carrying it around, for instance, to the grocery store or to work. I'm going to give you some of the dimensions according to the website, and then I'll throw up a couple of shots of comparisons between this size and the large size. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my little notebook here because I took notes on the actual sizes from the website. So this particular smaller version, the width is 14.6 inches, the height is 11.8 inches, and the depth is reportedly 6.7 inches. That's in contrast to the original size where the width is 18.7 inches. So about a 4-inch difference in how long the bag is. And then the height on the larger original version is 13 inches, so it's a little over 1 inch taller. And then the depth is 6.9 inches, so pretty close in depth. It's a little bit bigger on the original size. So those are some differences in dimensions based on the version of the bag you're looking at. And maybe to help with a little bit of frame of reference, I will throw up a couple of shots of the small version here. This is from the Farfetch website. And as you can see on the model, that's kind of how the scale looks. And then I'm going to throw up shots now of the large version, or the original version, I should say. And maybe you can tell it's a little hard in the angle of these pictures, but the larger original version is definitely larger. So in my opinion, the original version is great for travel likely, but maybe not so much if you want to use it day to day. But that's a little bit of the differences in terms of size reference. In terms of price difference, so the larger version currently retails for $16.90 in this particular style, so $1,690 US. And again, the smaller version is $1,290. So it is a $400 difference between the small version and the larger version. So as you all probably know as well, they make so many different versions of this particular tote bag. I think it's one of their more popular styles of bags that they actually sell. So they make different iterations of it season by season. So you'll see many different colorways. They make it in patterns, prints, full leather. They also make it in some straw or raffia type of looks as well. In addition to the smaller east-west kind of style, they have the original version, as I mentioned, in the east-west style, but they also make a north-south style as well, which I also was drawn to initially, but when I really thought more about it, I thought the north-south style may be harder to actually grab things from, at least at the bottom of the bag. So for me, in terms of travel, I think an east-west tote probably works a little better, but if you're interested in north-south design, they definitely have some great options. I will say, at least from watching a lot of YouTube videos and reading a lot about these totes, some of the darker colorways of the fabric or canvas tend to collect a lot of lint. So although I love my black bags, I will say, like most of you, for this particular style, I decided to opt for the lighter colorway because I just didn't want to deal with lint. That's one thing to consider if you're checking out the different colorways. So I will say that again, this is one of my most favorite bags, at least of 2022 for travel. I've taken this probably on 4 pretty large trips, including 2 trips to Hawaii with my 4 kids. And it's held up so well for me, and I will share with you guys some up close details as well. Alright, so I'm going to move a little bit into wear and tear. I'm going to share with you guys some up close shots of the bag and also share with you guys what the inside looks like and how it's really been holding up for me as I've been really using this bag. So just so you guys know, on Farfetch, you don't always get all the original packaging. With this particular bag, I don't believe I got a Saint Laurent box, but it did come in the Saint Laurent dust bag. So I did get this beautiful dust bag with it, just in case you're curious. I don't really need boxes, really, so I'm okay with that. But in case you're curious, sometimes on Farfetch you don't get all of the original packaging. So let me show you some up close shots of the wear and tear of this bag. So as I mentioned, it comes with the silver tone hardware on this version. There are slight scratches, but really not bad, I'll say. So they're holding up pretty well. The handles are really pristine. I was really looking for wear and tear earlier as I prepared for this video, but I didn't really see anything, and these handles have been through it, I'll say, because I use this for travel. I often have sunscreen, lotions, things like that, hand sanitizer on my hands, and I just grab the handles. Don't worry about it. They're easy to wipe clean, and the leather has held up really well, so no major issues, I will say. The canvas as well has held up really well. So in a little bit, I will tell you what I've put this bag through in my more detailed review. But look, you can't tell that really there's any significant wear. I know that on this canvas, you know, there are a little maybe slight snag looks like this one maybe, but I think that's just the nature of the fabric. But there are little things like that the bag actually comes with new. So I think that's just how the fabric is, but there are those little things. But in terms of color transfer, I don't see any significant color transfer anywhere on the canvas, and this is a light tote, so I was a little worried about that when I selected this version, but I think it's held up well. On the inside, it's just a big pit, and again, the interior is really pristine, I'll say. And I have thrown everything in this bag during our trips, but it's held up really, really nicely. And there is the one back pocket here, which has the leather logo there. And then the zipper is pretty deep. You can see my hand goes entirely inside of it. So I use this for my secure items, like my keys, phone, and wallet oftentimes. And there is a little leather patch on the inside of the pocket in case you're curious for authenticity purposes. You can see that there. And there are some leather details on the zipper. And you can see also on the zipper pull there's a little leather pull. And then there are the 3 snaps at the top here, which are awesome for travel too. So that's really how the bag looks now. Again, held up pretty well. I would actually say looks pretty much like new. Okay, so now I want to quickly show you guys what fits inside of this bag in case you're curious, or at least how I like to pack it for travel in particular. So again, I did receive the Saint Laurent dust bag. So as I've talked about in many of my video reviews before, I actually love keeping the dust bags with the bags. And what I do is I fold it up so it'll fit in the bottom of the bag, and I throw it in there. So this serves many purposes. It's nice because I always have that dust bag with me in case I need to store it when I'm traveling, put in my luggage, I can wrap it in the dust bag. You know, if it starts raining or something and I really want to be careful, I could, of course, pop out the dust bag. But really why I do it is I line the bottom with the dust bags. And that at least provides a lot of protection of the bottom of the bag when I throw things in. I'm not so much of a handbag organizer type of a person. I do have some, and sometimes for large totes they are, I will say, very handy. But I don't tend to often use them because I like how there is a little slouch and the bag is not too structured. Sometimes organizers, I think, add too much structure, at least for my preference. So I like to protect the bags just by throwing in a little liner like that, and I think it works really well. And when you're ready to clean your bag, you can just pull out the liner, just shake out any dust or things that got collected there, and then you have a beautiful bottom of your bag. So that's one thing I do for travel, especially for travel, I would say. It's really great to protect your bag with the dust bags. So the next thing that people always ask about in bag reviews is, will a laptop fit? I know everyone these days is just really tied to their tech products, so especially laptops for travel, iPads, Kindles, obviously cell phones. So it's important to know kind of what things will fit if you're looking at a travel or work tote. So this is the largest and heaviest laptop I currently have. It is a MacBook, and it is a 17-inch, so pretty large, relatively heavy, I will say. But I use this for a lot of different things, including work. So this, I will say, barely fits in this bag. It definitely would fit with a lot of room to spare in the original or larger version of the tote, but the smaller version, as you'll see, it barely fits. So what I mean by that is, if you want to do it east-west, it fits. Okay, so if you just want to lay it down and across, it does fit, as you can see there, but it's a tight fit and it's pretty heavy. But it does fit. So I think this is fine if you want to go, you know, to work or coffee shop. If you're not carrying the bag too many places or too long, you know, it'll fit and it doesn't show on the top. One of the downsides to carrying a heavy item though is, as you can see, it bows out the bottom of the bag. It slouches here. So just be kind of wary of that, such that I don't recommend using this in this way for long periods of time, because I think it will change the shape of the bag. And it's honestly quite heavy, but that would be true for most tote bags, I'll say, in terms of the weight. but it does bow it down a little bit. But in case you're curious, it fits. So I think for airplane, hand carry travel, this bag works really well for that reason. You can get a pretty big MacBook in there. So that's in there right now. And then the other item that I always pack is some type of a big pouch. So for size reference here, a lot of people are familiar with the size of the toiletry pouch from Louis Vuitton in size 26, the original version. That's what I have here. I love traveling with this because this one is the one with the wipeable lining. So you could use it as a toiletry pouch, which I don't tend to. I use it kind of as a catch-all or a clutch. So I'll throw in, you know, the small 3-ounce bottles of liquids that I want to bring, a couple of essentials, tissues, some makeup products. And then oftentimes I'll even throw in my card holder and keys, for instance. And then you can use it obviously as a clutch. I know so many people do that. So when you get to your destination, this is great for going out, for a quick bite to eat. You can just carry it around with you like this, and I think it looks really chic too. So I love traveling with this item, but I need some kind of pouch like this as well. And this definitely will fit in this bag, as I'll show you. Inside of here, another travel essential is my little clip for my nice designer handbags. I laugh a little because one of you commented that you were appalled by the fact that I said in a previous video in one of my Hawaii blogs that I put this particular bag on the ground. I stand by that. This travel bag I often will put on the ground because, you know, I'm out eating and I have a lot of kids with me. There's no extra room on the table to put a bag. I actually don't even want to put it on the table because something's going to spill on it on the table. So I often will just lay it on the ground beside me. I do quickly glance at the ground, make sure there's no obvious you know, things that will make it dirty, but it's been on the ground, let me just say. And as you just saw, it's held up really well. You can't even tell. But I do put some bags on the ground. I probably wouldn't put a full leather bag on the ground, I'll say, but things like canvas, you know, I think that's kind of the intention of those bags. But you made me feel guilty, rightfully so. So I do own this little clip. I just hadn't been using it, but you reminded me that I need to use this. So I pulled it out. I'm gonna start traveling more with this bag clip because, point well taken, I gotta protect these things. So this is an essential now for me. So that goes in there. So this easily fits, as you'll see, into this bag with a lot of room to spare. So here's what it looks like inside with those two items. So as you can see, there's a lot of space. So it's super easy to put whatever you need in here. Obviously, my essentials would go in the back pocket here. I would put in my card holder, phone, keys, some snacks you can just throw on the top there. And my only other essential travel item that I always put in here is a little scarf. So this is just one that I think I got from FabFitFun years ago. But, you know, a basic scarf like this, what I do is I just toss on the top. So it kind of looks like this. So I love this, especially for open totes, because one, I mean, it's always nice to travel with a scarf if you're flying in a plane, for instance. It's very versatile, but also it covers the contents of your bag such that things don't easily fall out. People have a harder time kind of reaching in to grab things, and it provides, you know, some security there, as you can see. So those are really my major travel essentials, and obviously they all fit in this bag. So I will say though that the best feature of this bag, and one of the major reasons why I think it's a great travel bag, is that it has these snaps at the top. You'll hear me snapping them. There are multiple snaps at the top here. So if you snap them all up, and it's really easy and fun to do, it's even a little bit satisfying. I love that little snap pop. Look at it. It totally closes, or almost totally. But look at that. So a lot of the other totes that people use for travel bags, and I would put myself in those categories because I used these for years, but for instance, the Neverfull, the Chanel DeVille tote, I've used both of those for travel. They don't have a closure like this. So you always worry that, you know, if by chance you have to put it in the overhead bin because it doesn't fit under your seat, things will fly around. There's no way I want to do that with an open tote. Or when you're walking to the airport quickly, you worry somebody may pickpocket you or something may fall out of your bag when you're putting it through TSA checkpoint and the bag falls down. You don't want everything to spill out. This one is super easy. You just quickly snap it up like this and then you're all set. So one of the main reasons I also love this as a travel bag is, I kid you not, when I put this in the TSA checkpoint during our last trip to Hawaii, it got shoved down and all of the other bags were ramming against this one, and it was shoved on the constantly rotating conveyor belt. So when I picked up this bag, I almost had a heart attack because there are huge black streaks down the front of this bag. I kid you not. And my husband said, "Oh my gosh, look at your bag." I almost had a heart attack. Luckily, when traveling with 4 kids, I always have baby wipes on me. So I pulled that out and just started wiping. And even at the TSA checkpoint, I quickly got rid of all of the scuffs. So you really can't tell, I would say. I was so proud of myself, but I salvaged this bag. So the canvas makes it perfect for travel. It's super wipeable. I promise you, it is wipeable. Even that black kind of tarry looking stains from the TSA conveyor belts, I was able to remove with a little baby wipe. So really perfect for travel for that reason. And then finally, this fits perfectly under the seat in front of you. I just put the handles down like this and it fits perfectly there, sitting upright. So I use this as my little catch-all during the plane and can grab things in and out. And it sits just like this under the seat in front of me. So just a perfect size. So let me just show you a couple of quick mod shots. I'm 5'4" in height, and here's what the bag looks like on me in terms of a frame of reference. This can go over your shoulder in case you're curious. So for me at least, it is a little tight here, but I often carry it like this. It's super convenient and comfortable for me. So I think that's a great look. You can also obviously carry it in the crook of your arm or hand carry as well. But I think there are so many ways to carry this bag, and really because of the rolled handles and the fact that they're leather and pretty thick, it's very comfortable on the shoulder. Alright guys, so there's my quick review of this beautiful Rive Gauche tote in the small size. As you can tell, I love this bag for travel. I'm going to use it a lot more for upcoming trips and also day-to-day too. I think it's just a super practical, versatile type of a tote bag. Stay tuned for a future video. I'm going to try to review all of my favorite tote bags as well and kind of do some comparisons between them. Hopefully you'll find that helpful. But definitely stay tuned for that, and I will feature this bag again in one of those tote bag review videos. If you have these totes, let me know down below what you think of them, what your favorite versions and sizes are as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you were staying safe and healthy and had lots of amazing travel opportunities this year. Looking forward to many more in the coming years as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.